Hi there, welcome to today's episode. Can you imagine a little girl that cried over doing the math homework? And today, God is using her mightily as a CPA. Welcome to the show, Jeanette.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I really just love what you do, from your website, and we just kind of chat a bit before we hit the record button. It's very inspiring that you are helping the minority group to build up the business. So today's episode, the goal is that you share with us that what happened, before and after that. Let's say before you allow, or let's say invite God to come to your business, and what's before and what's after.
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me. I was really excited because it's very easy to see God's hand in things from where you're sitting now compared to the journey. As you're going through the journey, you don't see what he's doing until it just really touches me. So growing up, I actually grew up in Japan. English is my second language. And growing up, my mother is Japanese, my father is American. And in the Asian culture, I was a half, and that's not during the time that I was born, that really wasn't accepted. And so then I came to the United States and did not speak English, and so I wasn't accepted with my peers. And I've had a lifetime of not being accepted. And we moved around a lot. I've moved 49 times in my life. My whole life I've moved around. And I was one of those kids. I know there's a lot of stereotypes that Asians can be good at math, but I hated math. I would cry and cry at the table. I hate this. This is stupid. And God had a plan, and I didn't know it. And, a lot of things, I was very young and I went into the army. I was a woman in the army that was placed in a very male world. And so I had a lot of discriminations, a lot of roadblocks, constantly having to prove myself. And it was very painful and hard. And there was a lot of things that I had to learn. But I always loved entrepreneurship. And it's kind of funny where I've always loved the Lord and I've always loved business. And about a couple years ago, I was praying through the business, like any business. Okay, I got to worry about this. I got to worry about this. I'm the IT person. I'm the marketing person. I'm the accountant. And I was like praying through this. And then I was like, Lord, come on. And, I felt that voice, that voice that you always hear, like, why aren't you letting me handle this? And I'm like, wait, love the Lord, love business. Why am I not letting this go? Why am I giving God my business plan, hoping that he'll text me and go, okay, here's what I want you to do next? And it was like, this happened not too long ago. And I'm part of a kingdom entrepreneur group. And it just was, I know it sounds kind of crazy. It's like, why haven't I blended these two? And when I finally opened up to say, okay, Lord, you lead me. And I look back on my life, and we do help disadvantaged businesses, which could be a woman, it could be a minority, could be a veteran, and I help them. And true story, even though I was crying at the table, I'm now a CPA, certified public accountant. So that's where God took me. He took that crying little girl who hated math, who he has, and I say this before, he has a sense of humor. And now I'm actually helping people. And I know what it's like to be disadvantaged, to be a woman in a man's world. I have a lot of woman construction companies that, struggle through this stuff. And I am just absolutely grateful for the Lord because he finally opened up and showed me this is what I've been doing. I'm using all of these negative things to build my kingdom. And now I have clients where we talk on the phone and pray on the phone. So it's been an exciting journey. I'm really loving where the Lord is taking me.
I'm I kind of just like, wow, it's so many similarity in my journey here. Because when first time I saw your photo, I was thinking, oh, I think she might have some Asian part of in her. because my audience that you guys know that wait till you watch this video or listening to our podcast, you guys know I'm originally from Taiwan. And I was born and raised at a time also, baby girls were not valued much. And then not to mention, I was just a child mistress. So growing up, I always had similar like Janet felt like I don't belong anywhere, anything, any group. And later on, obviously then I married a Swiss husband. So in this side of the world, obviously I don't look like Swiss, right? And then, but in the Asian part of the world, well, I'm not. Well, I appreciate a lot of culture, like Asian cultural type of thing, but a lot of like perspective when you come to business or things, I'm not necessarily totally like agree on with certain things. I love what you say that you hated math and you were not very good at math, and now you are CPA, right? So, guys, you don't have the excuse here. You guys know I'm using my third language to do the business in the last 12 years. So, people told me, influential coach told me that, when I want to do a podcast 7 years ago, and that coach challenged me, say, "Oh, do you mean Chinese? You gonna do the Chinese podcast?" I said, "No, because 90% of my client space, audience space are in English speaking place." And then when I about to write the book, they said, "Oh, you're gonna write a Chinese book?" I said, "No, it's English book." So somebody again told me you will never get any readers. Well, after becoming Amazon bestseller and 7 years later, one of the best podcasts in the category, see what God can do. See what God can do through Janet, right? So for those of you that I want you to be encouraged that if you are quote to quote happen to bump to this podcast episode for whatever reason, I don't think it's by accident, right? By the way, this episode is sponsored by our very own She Inherited Founder Academy. What is She Inherited Founder Academy? It's a premier community for Christ-centered female founders to start, grow, and scale your online business elegantly. We focus on identity-aligned positioning, compassion-driven marketing, and confidence-fueled selling to establish your business and solid ground for accelerated growth. In short, real women build real business and serve a real God. Inside the community, we focus on 4 key areas, but not limited to. We talk about, first of all, you becoming the CEO that God has called you to be. We talk about biblical principle for business, clarity on your short-term and long-term goals, and build a bridge between where you are now to where you want to be. Learn how to steward 5 essential areas in your business and life, master the business legal and administration and finance and so on. How to articulate the value of your offers, how to create that sell out offer suite for your business, and which platform you should choose, what kind of content machine you should build in order to solidify your foundation, and also to be able to attract the right type of clients and generate the income and impact as well. So if you're one of those Christ-centered female founders and you would like to have a community that is to support you at a very, very reasonable price, well, we have a founding member price promotion at the moment. Just go to kellybutler.com/founder for detailed information. So before we wrap up, Janet, I want you to kind of share, for those of people, maybe they are watching us or listening us now, and they say, well, Janet, but you sound such a woman of confidence. And that therefore you could achieve what you have achieved. And these people, they are kind of get a little bit stuck, or they are afraid to take that next step with God. They heard what God is tapping on their shoulder. What would you say to them?
I think we're all afraid. I think that's normal. And it is really hard to go beyond that fear. And, we read these Bible verses and it says, fear not, don't have anxiety. And it sounds great when we're reading the verse, and maybe for just a little moment, we can feel that. And for me, every single day, I have to put on God's armor every single day, every moment. Every moment I'm scared. There's sometimes that I look at some financial documents and I'm like, how did I even get here? I totally get it. But here's what separates the greatness of people. What separates the greatness of people is those who move just a tiny step forward. Throughout the Bible, Jesus is always saying, he's always asking someone to take a step because it's a step in faith. It doesn't even have to be, something major, just a little bit. So even if you can just say, I'm going to trust you. And sometimes that's all we can do is just say the word. I trust you, Lord. I trust you, Jesus. And then we just take that little step of faith. It doesn't have to be massive faith, just a small step. And that will work. I think we all have to do that for everything.
Exactly. And I'm so thankful that you share that, guys, just to take that one step, we all have those times we hope that God just give us all the whole map so we know where we're going. But that's just not the way he works. He just, when we step out one step, and then he will review the next. Janet, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show today. And you guys should all go to follow her. We will share her links, everything in the show note. And we just say, both of us, we trust that this message will inspire you. And if you like, even better, if you can tag me in my Instagram and let me know what is that one step that you take. That will really encourage us. Thank you so much, Janet, for coming on the show today.
Yes, great.
And if you like this video and this episode, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share with others so more Christ-centered leaders have the opportunity to consume this type of valuable content. Before I go, I just want to remind you that you can click on the screen to go to the next business growth videos, and I will see you in the next episode.